I was reading I was reading something. If you are watching this and you just see me looking into the screen and you don't understand why am I keeping quiet, there was new message from our friends YouTube. They were basically updating me about a lot of things. Um, Kalani Velez, aloha brother, how are you, my guy? Aviraj Awai, yo brother, how are you, man? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Uh, yeah, today I try to be a little bit on time. Long time no see, not active on YouTube. Um, you mean me? I'm not active on YouTube. I think I am active. I mean, okay, not as active on the live section, yes. Because I go live Friday and then I do the watch alongs. Kelani Velez, yeah, man. It's been a while, man. Oh, oh, you mean you? Oh, okay, cool. I thought maybe like I was surprised because like I upload every day. Like I was like, no, I'm very active on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to do the upsets predictions right now. So I've been I've been occupied with other things. I need to do a little bit more live streams, you know. But I think the most important ones are watch alongs and upsets predictions. Those I will never miss, you know. So I need to do more live streams, but they have to have some level of substance. Vela has been giving out good picks. I appreciate that, man. I work really hard on my predictions, so it's nice to hear that it's being appreciated. Um, Awachi, brother, I seriously don't know why you picked Andrade Silva because in the last fight he was getting hit a lot by Miles and taking those right hands again and again. Yeah, I mean you make a good point. We'll get to my reason for picking him. We'll get to my reason for picking him soon. It's not a confident pick, but it seems I'm pretty good at predicting underdogs. Um, yeah, I think I'm one of the best underdog predictors. I think on YouTube based on history. Um, yeah, let me just leave it at that. I'll elaborate once I get to that particular fight. So without wasting any more time, let's get to the upset predictions. So first fight of the night is Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. My subscribers went with Montana De La Rosa. I went with Luana Carolina. Montana De La Rosa is the favorite at plus 110, and Carolina is the favorite at minus 113. Do I think an upset is possible here? I mean, it's women's MMA, so I mean, an upset is always possible, you know? Like, if Hamza Chimaev was a woman, like was fighting in the MMA, I would like an upset would be likely before he even got into the top five. That's how crazy it is. But in all seriousness, um, I think Luana Carolina is rightfully the favorite. Do I think an upset is possible? I don't know, man. I feel like Luana Carolina is going to be better on the feet. She has the reach, she has the power, she has the striking defense. She's a little bit more accurate. On the ground, I don't know. I'd say Luana Carolina is also has some level of grappling and takedown defense to some extent. And normally people who have grappling offense. I have a little bit more confidence in them, and even though I haven't seen enough grappling defense, because if you know how to wrestle offensively, then most likely you'll be able to wrestle defensively because you know what someone is trying to do because you know how to wrestle offensively, right? So I don't know. I feel like obviously Montana De La Rosa is like might get a submission. She shoots a lot of takedowns, but for me personally, I feel like Luana Carolina is going to be able to stuff the takedowns. On the feet, I think she's going to piece up Montana De La Rosa. I think she has the power between the both of them. I mean, it's WMMA, so the power is not that high, but the point is there is some level of power in there. But as far as striking, I think Luana Carolina is going to have a massive advantage, and I don't think it's going to be easy for Montana De La Rosa to get the fight to the ground. But because it's WMMA, I'm going to say an upset is possible. I might maybe change my mind. This card does not have that many solid, safe picks, so yeah, I'll say an upset is possible. Let me respond to you guys before I go to the next one. Um, Apology. Let's see. This busy acting up. It doesn't want me to respond to your comments, guys. I'll respond to your comments. Okay, let me actually respond because it agreed. Okay, Avaraj, bro, please skip WMMA. Don't touch me. I have to, bro. Montella was taking Andrea Lee in her last fight. I mean, I get that, but I think styles make fights, and I think this is going to be stylistically a favorable matchup for Luana Carolina. In my opinion, we can see an upset here. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. It's possible. I mean, once again, it's WMMA, so anything is possible. Um, so but it's WMMA, so no idea. Yeah, I agree. So for me personally, I think an upset is possible. On to the next one. Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. Charles Johnson. I picked my subscribers went with Rami Ramazan Temirov. I Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson is the underdog at plus 100, and Ramazan Temirov is the favorite at minus 125. Do I think an upset is possible here? I mean, of course, I picked the Charles Johnson, man. Charles Johnson. Um, I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting fight because um, I haven't seen enough from Ramazan Tamirov in order to be confident, but I know that Charles Johnson will have the reach advantage, um, and he can use his height reach very effectively. I know that Ramazan has the power. You know, he has the ability to finish a fight. Um, as far as striking, I would lean more towards Ramazan. Combined with the power, I mean, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Even though I picked Charles Johnson, I'm not very confident. But when it gets to the ground, I feel more likely. I'm leaning towards Charles Johnson because I feel like he is going to be better everywhere. I think he's going to probably be able to get a submission. I think he shoots a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more effective in his takedowns. I don't know. That's why I see. I say I haven't seen enough from Ramazan that makes me feel like he can beat Charles Johnson. So because of that, I think an upset is possible. Obviously, I'm picking Charles Johnson, but this is going to be an interesting fight because um, I mean the same problem didn't Charles Johnson beat Joshua Van. I mean, Joshua Van is a talented fighter, but that's one of the other reasons that I was mentioning that the height problem, you know, and Charles Johnson, I think, knows how to use his height in that particular division. So, yeah, I'm also going with the experience. This is going to be a very close fight, so I'm going to lean towards the experience as opposed to focusing on who is a touted prospect. Um, I'm this year prospects are in trouble, man. Because I picked Charles Johnson and I picked Manel Kape. I'll explain my reasons. But it seems like this year prospects are not having a good year, to be honest. So obviously, I picked the Charles Johnson. So I think an upset is definitely possible here. Let me respond to your comments before I go to the next one. Guys, this phone is busy acting up. Anyway, let me respond to your comments before I bounce. Awati Avarachi, bro, Charles versus fight literally gave me a headache this week, bro. I did so much research, but Temirov only has one way to win by using his power to knock out Charles. Has literally many ways. Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons why I went with Charles. I felt like Temirov has one way to actually get it done, and Charles has multiple ways to actually get it done. Um, Avarashi, plus he has a lot of advantages on the feet, like height and reach. I think we should trust Charles at this point. Yeah, I'm also going with his experience as well. It's not just the height, because you can get knocked out. Look at what Joshua Van did to who's the guy who was fighting at UFC Noche last year. I mean, he finished the guy, and the guy was taller than him. So I don't normally consider height, only I consider a variety of aspects in deciding who to go with as the winner, but height is definitely a massive deciding factor. But that's not the main factor, because last year at UFC Noche, I actually picked Joshua Van, and he was fighting someone taller than him. It's difficult to win, but sometimes height means really nothing. But yeah, it is an advantage. I think the combination of experience, the ability to use the height. Some people are just tall and they don't know what to use that height for, or how to use that particular height. I feel like Charles Johnson, like Israel Adesanya, who know how to use their height in fights. So, and obviously he's a UFC veteran. Like, there are a variety of elements that make me feel a little bit more confident in picking him. Not necessarily saying that he's going to definitely win, but I feel a bit more confident in him winning as opposed to the inexperienced Tamirov. And I think he can defend his ranking, but Charles should be aware of his explosiveness. Yeah, that's one of the things that actually concern me. I don't want to lie. Manny, what's your favorite play for tonight? Tonight, I don't know. Tomorrow, you see, is in it like playing tomorrow, and it also depends on time zone. Lavaraji, I think the guy was Suma Durji. Sorry, I don't know the name exactly, but Charles performed well. Yeah, Lavaraji, and OFC is its first night. Anything is possible, but I think we are good. Charles is a dog, and we can trust him. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for UFC, my bad. Nah, it's cool, man. I think I'll give you my most confident pick once I'm done with the breakdowns. Guys, can you please hold, or you can ask, you can conversate, but I think I'm going to answer questions once I'm done, just so someone who's going to watch the stream afterwards doesn't have to listen to me responding to comments. I'm going to break down the entire card, and then I'm going to come back and respond to all your comments. So don't be surprised if I'm not responding. So yeah, I think an upset is possible. On to the next one: Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldridge. Um, Andrea Lee, my subscribers and I went with Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee is the underdog at plus 160. JJ Aldridge is the favorite at minus 190. Do I think an upset is possible? I don't know, man. I think JJ Aldridge. Guys, I have to break down every single fight. There's no way I can just skip it, man. I don't know, guys. A lot of people have confidence in JJ Aldridge, but for me, I don't. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I think Andrea Lee's the better fighter. Um, I think she's leaps and bounds ahead of JJ Aldridge. I know a lot of people are saying, well, JJ Aldridge can wrestle. They like to refer to a common opponent, and they're like, yeah, no, she can out wrestle Andrea Lee and all these type of things. For me personally, I honestly don't think she's going to have any type of success. I think even if it's by split decision, I think Andrea Lee is going to win this fight. To be honest, um, Kamran Srabon, how are you, man? So, do I think an upset is possible? I mean, obviously, my subscribers and I are picking Andrea Lee, and she's the underdog. So, obviously, I think an upset is possible. But beyond that, I feel like Andrea Lee, I'm not even lying about this. I think Andrea Lee is significantly better. And I think a lot of people are, except me. I mean, I could be wrong. It's women's MMA, you know. Like, this could age badly. But I think Andrea Lee is significantly leaps and bounds better than JJ Aldrich. I'm not going to do MMA maths. I know people are going to try and say, oh, but she beat this person like this. Oh, but she fought this and she performed like this. I don't care too much about that. I just know that JJ Aldrich, I mean, Andrea Lee is significantly better. I'm surprised that she's not the favorite, but it is what it is. Um, Aviraj, I watched Andrea Lee fight. She can pull the upset, but not gonna put my money on WMMA. Yeah, smart move, man. JJ Ultra's striking is bad, literally bad. Yeah, and I think Andrea Lee can actually defend the takedowns. But I guess we'll see. It's WMMA, so anything's possible. So do I think an upset is possible? I mean, of course, it's WMMA. On to the next one. Danny Silva versus Lucas Almeida. My subscribers and I went with Danny Silva. Danny Silva is the favorite at minus 190. And Lucas Almeida is the underdog at plus 160. You know what, guys? On these odds, I might have made an error. Am I sure? Someone can check them just to verify. But I know that Danny Silva is the favorite. I just want to. If you can double check, just please double check the odds for me. But my subscribers and I went with Danny Silva. Um, do I think an upset is possible? The thing is, I mean, Lucas Almeida is very seasoned. Let's go. Lucas is my dog. Lucas Almeida is very seasoned. However, I think Danny Silva is going to be better almost everywhere. So Lucas Almeida will have the power. Lucas Almeida will have the reach. Um, I think Danny Silva will have the technical striking abilities. I think Danny Silva will probably have the advantage even as it relates to the grappling exchanges. So I favor um, Danny Silva, but I'm not too confident in him. I think maybe he has the ability to actually get it done. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, well, um, I'm not going to say out on a limb and say he is a lock, but ah man, I mean Dennis Silva is so inexperienced. It's hard for me to actually call him a lock at this particular point. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see. Let's go, Lucas. Aviraj. Denny is the favorite, and Lucas is a plus 180 underdog. Okay, thank you for that, Aviraj. I was a little bit confused. C1SA, why you think Andrade is gonna win against Castaneda? I'll explain my reasons to my guy, Aviraj, bro. Look, if Denny gets it, take down, he wins, but I don't think he can take down Lucas because trust me, Lucas is a big dude, and trust me, his offensive striking is really good, bro. I guess we'll see, man. And then he literally throws at his opponent, and if he throws like he throwed against Kulibao, he is going to knock down. He is get going to get the knockdown. I mean, it's possible. It's MMA. I'm not disagreeing with that. But in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie. I guess I'm going to be watching the fights with you guys, so I guess we'll see. But for me personally, I feel like out of all the fights that broken down so far, um, they're still risky, but I have a significant confidence in in Andrea Lee and Danny Silva, to be honest. Fun fact: Lucas has been always been the underdog. Okay. C1 SA, don't let any Romanians near your silver tooth. It's actually a gold tooth, man. So I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in Danny Silva and Andrea Lee, but both of them are still risky, and that's why I'm like an upset is definitely possible here. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at an upset as possible. But so far, the few fights that I feel like maybe this might go the right way would be Andrea Lee and Danny Silva. Anyway, do I think an upset is possible? I mean, of course, it's Lucas Almeida. I haven't seen enough from Danny Silva in order to have significant confidence. But yeah, I think an upset is possible. Aviraj and Lucas on fight night almost weighs in at 170, and he fights at 145. C1 SA, are you more uncle or nephew? I don't know. A lot of people call me Ankh, so I guess I'm an Ankh. Um, On to the next one. De Silva Andrade versus John Castaneda. My subscribers and I went with John. What do you call him? De Silva Andrade. Andrade is the underdog at plus 190, and John Castaneda is the favorite at minus 230. Do I think an upset is possible? And of course, I picked De Silva Andrade. Let me try and explain my reasons, right? Reach. John Castaneda has reach, right? We all know that. As far as striking, I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as a lot of people maybe might assume it's going to be. If the fight goes to the ground, I favor um, Andrade more than I favor Castaneda. To be honest, I feel like Andrade is going to have a significant advantage as far as submissions go, as far as who is going to be able to be the better wrestler, who is going to be the better jiu-jitsu practitioner. I favor Andrade, to be honest. And of course, I know that Andrade is like ancient, like he's like not ancient, but like he's like the 39, and in MMA, that's really old and worse in his division. It's even worse, right? Castaneda looks like he gets the knockout easily. Okay, I mean he's an underdog, right? I've picked out of 60 underdogs, I think I've gotten around 50% of them correct, which is not a bad number average as far as underdogs go. So a lot of the time, my predictions are pretty good as it relates to underdogs because I don't necessarily look at the predictions as who's the favorite and who is the underdog. I look at who I think is the better fighter. The only concern, to be honest, for me as it relates to this particular fight is the age. Like it's nothing else. There's nothing else that worries me. It's the same reason I picked what's his name? The guy, the older guy. Okay, let me just leave it. I think Muslim Salihov is one of the people, the older fighters that I picked over the younger guy because I felt like he was the better fighter. In most cases, whenever I pick an older fighter, is mainly because I feel like they are significantly better than their opponents. Even though their opponents are maybe a little bit younger, I will still go with the older guy because I feel like they're still skilled enough to actually get the win. And I know a lot of people reference the fight with Miles Johns, but in all honesty, I think Miles Johns is a decent fighter. I don't think there's any shame in losing to Miles Johns. He gave who was he fighting in his most recent fight? He just gave one of the best prospects a run for his money. Not one of the best prospects, but a decent prospect. He gave him a run for his money, and that fight was really close and entertaining and back and forth. It's it's like laughing or saying someone is not good for example losing to Thiago Moises, for example. I feel like De Silva is the Thiago Moises of his division. I think he's still good enough to actually get the win. Look at what happened with Peyton Talbot. He was fighting an older fighter, and he still lost. There's no necessarily guarantee. We cannot just look at age and think, "Oh, this guy is washed." Especially when you look at De Silva's last fight, he was fighting Miles Jones, and even if he still lost, I think his performance was decent, right? Obviously, I'm picking him as an underdog. Obviously, he's older. There are a couple of things that might influence him losing, but I'm not going to necessarily say, well, I'm not picking him because he's old. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't do predictions like that, and that's why my channel is successful. I look at who I think is going to be successful, and I obviously take into consideration that the fact that they are older and how that might affect the outcome of the fight. But I don't necessarily base my decision solely on, oh, that guy looked good in his last fight, did that guy look bad in his last fight, so automatically this guy is going to lose. Because if that was the case, then Vicente Luque shouldn't have won his last fight against Temba Gorimbo. So for me personally, welcome, Shawshot Miggy. So for me personally, man, I have a little bit of confidence in De Silva. The only thing that makes me worry is age. I'm not gonna lie. I still feel it's the same as what I said about Andrea Lee, right? Andrea Lee, I think she's the better fighter, but obviously she's no longer in a prime, right? This applies to De Silva and Raj. For me personally, I know a lot of people are high on John Castaneda or whatever the case is in this particular situation. For him to be a minus 230 favorite, it shows that a lot of people have a lot of confidence in him. But as far as striking goes, I think it's going to be 50-50 for me. On the ground, I think De Silva is going to win. Shot McGee, I'm going JJ. Okay, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm going to be live for the watch along, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let me finish breaking down the Andrade fight because a lot of people have been asking me about my pick. So I think I've given you a lot of reasons. Um, I mean, De Silva still might lose. Obviously, the age will influence the outcome of the fight. But in all honesty, I think on the feet the fight is going to be equal. On the ground, I think De Silva is going to be the better fighter. When it comes to wrestling, so I'm talking about like reversals. I'm talking about the control. I'm talking about takedowns, effective takedowns. I think the advantage is going to be on the Silva side. As far as it relates to jiu-jitsu, I'm still going with what do you call him? Andrade, because as far as jiu-jitsu and wrestling for me, I think De Silva is going to be better. Um, the only place I see it being competitive is on the feet, right? And obviously, it might not be as competitive as I think because of the age element. But I'm still going to say that I think Andrade is going to win. And shout out to my subscribers, man. These people know how to pick fights. Like I have some of the best predict. Like my subscribers know how to predict fights, man. It's impressive to see that they also went with De Silva. Anyway, we might be wrong. Who knows? But my channel is one of the best on the planet. So ask anyone. I'm pretty confident about what I'm saying. So with that being said, I could be wrong. I'm not gonna dispute that. But I'm sticking with De Silva. I think he has what it takes to actually get the upset. So in conclusion, I think an upset is definitely possible. Um, on to the next one. Okay, before I go to the next one, let me respond to your comments. Um, um, Aviraj, bro, Silva de Andrade literally was getting beat up by Miles Jones, and he was having no answer to his right hand. And John Castaneda striking was good against Marcos, and John Chin is good. Okay, we'll see, man. I mean, he doesn't have to knock him out though. Aviraj, you know that he doesn't have to knock him out. He can just control Miles Jones and win the fight. I mean, the fight doesn't have to end in a knockout. That's also a possibility. Um, C1 SA. It's a dogfight, and the Andrade is a greater. Yeah, man. I'm going with Andrade, man. Aviraj, although he was getting hit and his reaction was also bad, but still, he stands. He stands, and John has good grappling than Andrade. Okay, I guess we'll see that theory when the fight gets going, right? Because my theory, personally, based on research, is that on the feet the fight is going to be evenly matched. On the ground, I think Andrade is going to out wrestle and out jiu-jitsu John Castaneda. We can disagree, but join me live when the fight starts, or rather, when the whole entire card starts, and then we will see who was right. And if I was wrong, I'll take my L's live. Aviraj, John also puts more volume. Yeah, I mean, those are good arguments. I'm not necessarily saying that you're wrong. I agree with that. But I still feel like De Silva is slightly better. The only concern for me is that maybe because of age, he might have deteriorated a little bit. And John and Daniel Marcos is a big dude, but in third round he showed his grappling, although he took him down one time. But if he starts his grappling from round one, I think he can win easily. Okay, we'll see. Shot Mickey. Why are you calling me the gold dude? Shot McGee, I'm going JJ. Okay, but I think JJ Aldridge, I mean, Andre Lee is significantly better, to be honest. Shot McGee, I don't think John isn't that good. Can't finish. Yeah, I agree. Aviraj, I'm not high on John, but I just can't put money on both because personally, I don't trust John. He will fight for my money. He will fight for my money, and I just can't put my money on Andrade because of his age. Yeah, that's a fair argument, man. Short McGee, bet the finish for Andrade or John distance. I think Andrade could get the distance, to be honest. Average, but one thing is true. I think the line is very wide. There is no way that John should be this much of a favorite. But you know what? Uh, Truth be told, when the lines are this wide, sometimes I could be wrong, right? But I'm sticking with the Silva. I think. On to the next one: Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. Squabbers and I went with Chepe Mariscal. Ricardo Ramos is the underdog at 310, and Chepe Mariscal is the favorite at minus 420. Damn. Damn, at this age, yeah, I get the argument. I don't agree with it. Well, I agree with it. I know that it can influence the performance, but I'm still going with Andrade. But an upset is definitely possible. So Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mescal. Do I think an upset is possible? That boy is a lock. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but I was wrong about Silva. You know, even though I picked Gene Silva, yes, I picked Gene Silva, but I wasn't too confident that he was going to be able to run through Melk Bagdasarian. But I still picked him, but I wasn't necessarily sure that it was be um, a run through the same way I was skeptical about Mauricio Rufy versus James Lontop, like when they were fast fighting last year. I thought the fight between James Lontop and Mauricio Rufy would look the same as Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasarian. I was wrong about what do you call him, Gene Silva. He actually got the finish. It wasn't a competitive fight. However, I will say this, and I said this in my prediction. Like, if people stop engaging with Gene Silva, they are going to have a little bit more success. Because Melsik Bagdasarian, I know I'm going on a side rant, but I need to say this in order to make my point. I'm going to come back to this fight. So Melsik Bagdasarian was fighting really well, was defensively good, offensively good, until Gene Silva extended his hand and was being playful and wanted to hold his hand and shake his hand. I don't think that's just him enjoying the fight. I think it's a strategic thing because he gets you out of your flow. He distracts your focus, and because you're distracted, you need to get into back into that flow, and he's already there. So it didn't even take 1 minute after they shook hands. Seconds later, he was knocked out. So, and I think normally happens in every single fight. They shake hands and he's like having fun, but whenever he shakes your hand, he distracts you. I think, for me personally, I'd like to see a fight where the opponent refuses to shake his hand. Let's see how that plays out because I feel like he does that on purpose just to disorientate you. Anyway, Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. Um, I know a lot of people think Ricardo Ramos is a can, right? A lot of people say Ricardo Ramos is a can. To all the people who like to come into my watch alongs and be like, yeah, dude, you were wrong, dude. Please listen to my upsets predictions, right? I'm doing the upsets prediction right now, right? If you haven't seen everything, please make sure you watch the everything from the beginning so that you don't say I said this or I didn't say this. Even when I'm watching along, I always reference my upsets predictions because people, even when upsets happen, people don't listen to me. They're like, nah. I'm like, for example, in the Silva, but again the Andrade fight, a lot of people in the comment section are disagreeing with me, and they could be right. But a lot of the time, when I say an upset is possible, it ends up eventually happening. Not all the time, but the majority of the time, when I say an upset is possible, it ends up happening, right? So I need people to actually pay attention so that when you come into the comment section and say, yeah, why did you pick why did you pick this particular person or whatever the case is, or for example, let's say if Chepe Mariscal loses, and then people are like, yeah, but you picked him. Yeah, I picked him, but listen to my explanation and listen to what I'm going to say. And upset as possible. Give you my reasons. Ricardo Ramos, I think a lot of people, a lot of MMA fans, they think Ricardo Ramos is a can, right? The same mentality they had, or rather, the same idea they had about Vicente Luque, right? If you remember, if you've been watching my absence predictions, I actually said when Vicente Luque was fighting Temba Gorimbo, I told everyone that I'm picking Temba Gorimbo, but the scary thing about Vicente Luque is that he's still in his prime. He's still good enough to actually come back and actually make a title run, and he's still young enough to actually do all the things that I just mentioned. So it just comes down to him deciding, and no one will ever know because it's going to happen in the gym. He's going to take a decision one day and be like, I'm tired of losing, I want to win. And that's what's going to happen. And it happened when he fought Temba Gorimbo. A lot of people were picking Temba Gorimbo, including myself. But I did say in my upsets predictions that although I'm picking Temba Gorimbo, it only takes Vicente Luque uh, deciding he wants to be better than he was, and he actually got it done. I think the same applies to Ricardo Ramos, right? I think Ricardo Ramos is one of the most talented people in the UFC. Unfortunately, there's something that's not connecting um, in his UFC career. For some reason, he cannot necessarily put it all together because I think Ricardo Ramos has what it takes to become a champion. I'm not gonna lie. Even though a lot of people think he's a can, I significantly disagree. So in this particular fight, I know a lot of people are going crazy over Chepe Mariscal, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's going to run through this guy," and he may, like what Gene Silva did last time. But I don't think people should be looking over Ricardo Ramos because he might cause a lot of people to be very upset. So let me try and explain this a little bit in more detail. Right. As far as striking, I will obviously lean towards Chepe Mariscal. However, you need to take into consideration that Ricardo Ramos has the reach advantage. I think Ricardo Ramos has a little bit of power, so that might even things out. Um, but obviously his fight IQ is not that great, so that's going to be a disadvantage. But if he starts listening to his coaches or something, like there needs to be something that changes, and if he does that, I mean, he could change a lot of things on the ground. You know what? I feel like Chepe Mariscal has good takedown defense, but I could see Ricardo Ramos maybe finding a way to take him down. He is also good with submissions. I don't think Chepe Mariscal would submit Ricardo Ramos, but I think Ricardo Ramos would definitely submit Chepe Mariscal. So this is going to be a tricky fight depending on whether or not Ricardo Ramos shows up. But for me, I'm not going to put this as my lock. I'm not as confident in Chepe. I'm confident in Chepe Mariscal, but I also know what Ricardo Ramos is capable of. Chepe Mariscal is a dog. I think if it turns into a slugfest, um, obviously you want to have Chepe Mariscal on your side. But as far as and talent, especially when it comes to finishing fights, I think Ramos has what it takes. Unfortunately, he hasn't shown me anything that makes me confident enough to say, let me take a chance on him. So I'm not going to take a chance on him. My subscribers and I went with Chepe Mariscal, but an upset is definitely possible. Yeah, you can have confidence in him. It's up to you, but I'm sticking with him. Um, I mean, I'm sticking with Chepe Mariscal, but not Ricardo Ramos. But he has what it takes. Believe you me. I know. Maybe it sounds crazy, but we'll see. We'll see. Before I leave, wow, a lot of my people have logged into the stream. Um, before I go to the next fight, let me respond to your comments. That boy's a log. Aviraj Ricardo has good potential, but literally he just not use it. And Mariscal is a dog. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Aviraj thinks this is gonna be an easy pick. I was following Jin Silva before he was in the UFC, and I knew that he was the next big thing. Yeah, man, he's super popular, especially because of his fighting style. I'm sure Shot McGee Ricardo is live in the first, but he quits if he gets struck. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't even pick him, but I think he has the potential to actually get the upset. Chill out, bro. I trust you. I was just putting my point against you. I mean, obviously, I have to defend my stance. I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong, Aviraji. Like, I understand that you probably might be right, you know. Obviously, and I agree with you. That's why I picked Chepe Mariscal. It's not like I'm saying you're wrong. My bad. If it came out that way, I apologize, man. Well, I knew Luca would get it done, and yeah, a broken clock is right twice in a day. That's true. Welcome to the stream, Mamai. Cheesy Rich. What up? What up? The Curse King is back. The Curse King. Twizy was busy cursing us on the last watch along. I'm from the future. Temper is along. Wow. He's back. Aviraj. Long time no see, Wamai. What's up, bro? Yeah, I mean, Wamai has been in and out. Oh, but Aviraj, you said you haven't been active too much on Facebook, on YouTube. I mean, you said seen the live. What's going? How you doing, man? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, I don't think you're responding to me. You're responding to Wamai, I think. Um, Shoshat Maggie, Tweezy does. Yeah, he's busy doing voodoo in the comment section. Aviraj. Fine, brother. What about you? Well, my all good. Just getting some info for my pigs after after uni. Bro, success. I saw him from 1K and how far he made it. Man, I appreciate that. I didn't know that you were there at 1K, man. Yeah, I hit the 15,000 subscribers. That's a massive achievement, man. Um, doesn't feel like it's massive, but yeah, it's really massive. I appreciate you, man. Um, Wamai, yeah, I've been here since like June. Bro used to go live during my work breaks. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. But yeah, hopefully you guys can join me during the live watch along. Let me continue breaking down the fights and giving you my upset predictions. So far, there's no fight that I feel like an upset is not possible. So far, I haven't seen any fight that I feel like is safe. But there are a couple of fights that I feel like maybe I can take the chance on this. Once upon a slugfest equals work on uni. What's you and I? I don't know what that means, dude. Work or uni? What's uni? Can you please? And it means I'm getting older if I don't know the abbreviations. Or the I don't know how to even describe them. Anyway, Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto or a Pinto. I don't know how to pronounce that. My subscribers and I went with Mario Pinto. Austin Lane is the underdog at plus 280. Mario Pinto is the favorite at minus 360. Do I think an upset is possible here? Of course. Oskov. Oskov. Um, Once upon a slugfest, there's work or university. So I'm a university. Wow, you guys. Anyway, um, I don't know, man. Austin Lane hasn't been that impressive. I had a bit of confidence in him in the beginning, but he's been very underwhelming. Um, Amy, do a backflip. um, he's been very underwhelming. To be honest, he's not that great at striking. He's terrible at wrestling. And I mean, Mario has power. Mario has striking abilities. I don't think. Um, Let me see. How is he going to do on the ground? I haven't seen Mario tested as far as wrestling goes. So, hopefully we don't find out that Mario cannot defend takedowns like Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot disappointed all of us, man. Peyton needs to be okay. Let me not do this. That was a really disappointing performance. So hopefully we don't find out that Mario Pinto doesn't know how to defend takedowns like Peyton Talbot. But as far as the striking goes, I don't think Austin Lane is going to have a chance here. Um, so yeah, I think Mario Pinto is rightfully the favorite. I don't see it going any other way. But I mean, because of the inexperience, because I haven't seen enough from Mario Pinto, I will say that an upset is possible. But I don't think it's that likely. But it is possible because unfortunately, I'm never going to have confidence in someone who I haven't seen enough from in order to make an informed decision about them. Right? I need to see them tested a little bit. So I guess the Austin Lane is going to be the test, and it's not a good test, but still a test nonetheless. So yeah, my subscribers and I are going with Mario Pinto. On to the next one, Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. My subscribers and I went with Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow is the favorite at minus 305. The Sam Patterson is the underdog at plus 245. Do I think an upset is possible? Um, whew, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. You know what? After seeing Veterenikov perform so terribly, and I mean terribly, when I say terribly, I mean terrible, terrible performance by Veterenikov. So, so because of that terrible performance, I don't know. My confidence in Denny Barlow has gone significantly down. Like I used to be high on Denny Barlow, but after that performance, I'm not as confident as I used to be. I'm not, I'm not as confident as I used to be. However, we need to remember that Denny Barlow has a 100% takedown defense, right? So even though I have very little confidence in that, my confidence in Danny Barlow has significantly dropped. I still have some level of confidence in Danny Barlow, largely because, unlike Veterenikov, I think Danny Barlow can defend the takedowns. I think a lot of us shouldn't fall into the trap of saying, well, because the Veterenikov lost, it means Danny Barlow is not that great. I'm falling into that trap, but we also need to distinguish the fact that the reason Veterenikov lost wasn't because of striking, it was because of wrestling, right? So if for example, Paige Van Zandt's husband somehow won via knockout, I'd be like, okay, that's actually very interesting. But we have to take into consideration that um, Veterenikov because of wrestling, and he was giving Danny Barlow problems with striking, not wrestling. So it means Veterenikov, it's probable, and that's why maybe a lot of us had confidence in Veterenikov. Maybe Veterenikov is good at striking, but is terrible at grappling. That's possible. It happens a lot, you know. So in this situation, that problem will not affect Danny Barlow, as far as I can tell, because Danny Barlow is good at defending takedowns, as far as what I've seen. So if we assume that the fight is never going to go to the ground, on the feet, who do I think is going to have the upper advantage? On the feet, it's going to be Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow has the reach, Danny Barlow has the power, Danny Barlow has the technical abilities to actually get the knockout. So if the fight stays on the feet, which I think it's going to because of Danny Barlow's takedown defense, is definitely going to win. However, if Danny Barlow's 100% takedown defense was a fraud defense, then it's going to it's going to be very interesting. But so far, Danny Barlow has a 100% takedown defense, which means it's not going to be very easy to take him down, right? But if the fight somehow goes to the ground, it's going to be a problem. But I highly doubt it's going to go to the ground. If it stays on the feet, Danny Barlow is going to get the knockout, I think. So I have a little bit more confidence now after saying that. And breaking down these fights, a lot of people think I come into these live streams with an idea of what I'm going to say. I just use previous knowledge of the sport. I don't necessarily write all these things down. I just write um, important information so that I can remind myself of certain information. For example, who has the reach, who has one, two, three, four, five, like all these type of things. But I don't necessarily write anything down. So whenever I do these breakdowns, they also help me as far as giving myself a little bit of confidence as far as my predictions go, because sometimes I also cannot necessarily reason until I do these lives. That's why I'm never going to ever stop doing the upsets predictions, because they also help me reaffirm my confidence. Now that I've broken down Danny Barlow and Sam Patterson, I have a little bit more confidence in Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow has good takedown defense, as and on the feet, I don't think Sam Patterson has a shot. So unless somehow Danny Barlow has a horrible takedown defense, or the chain wrestling of, if somehow Sam Patterson becomes a chain wrestler and somehow his cardio is unbelievable, I don't know, maybe that's when he can lose. But outside of that, I don't think he's going to lose. So yeah, Danny Barlow probably is going to win this fight. On to the next one. Haida Emil versus William Gomis. Subscribers and I went with William Gomis. Haida Emil is the underdog at plus 170, and William Gomis is the favorite at minus 200. Do I think an upset is possible? Um, I'll respond to your comment. You guys are crazy. Like, you guys are insane. Anyway, do I think an upset is possible? Whew. You know what? This is going to be another tricky fight. It's a little bit 50-50 for me. However, even though I think Joe Anderson Brito won the fight between Gomes against the KO. Okay, William Gomes is a Gomes. Right. Anyway, I think even though I think Joe Anderson Brito won the fight in France, I think if the fight that happened between Joe Anderson Brito and William Gomez was anywhere else, I think Joe Anderson Brito would have gotten the nod. But obviously, because the fight was in France, every time they visit a country, there's going to be bias. We know this. We know Jairzinho Rosenstrike almost lost to Taito Ivasa, even though he beat him up for 3 rounds. But it is what it is. But despite that, the fight was close enough for them to give him a robbery. And because of that, I don't know, man. I feel a little bit more confident in William Gomez because I think Joe Anderson Brito is one of the most talented people in the UFC in general. I mean, that's the only two people who've beaten um, Diego Lopez, if I'm not mistaken, in the UFC. It's what do you call him? Joe Anderson Brito and who's this guy? I forgot him. I apologize, but he's also ranked, by the way. So it's only two people who've ever beaten Diego Lopez, and one of them is ranked in the top five, and one of them is Joe Anderson Brito. Yeah, one of them, yeah, Movza Evloev. Yes, the only two people that I know of that have beaten that have beaten Diego Lopez in the UFC is Movza Evloev and Joe Anderson Brito. So Joe Anderson Brito is a really talented fighter, and for William Gomez to actually perform the way he did, shows me that he's a really really good prospect. Even though he got the robbery win, I still feel like that was a decent performance. So far, there's nothing memorable that Haida Mill has done, but I'm not going to write him off. As far as the striking goes, I think it's going to be 50-50. As far as the grappling goes, I think it's going to be 50-50. So because of that, I'm I'm basing my predictions on who have I seen perform better against the better competition, and it's William Gomez. But in all honesty, I do think that Haida Emil has a shot. I'm not disregarding him, and for that reason, I think an upset is possible. And I didn't say I don't know if I said an upset is possible or not in the Danny Barlow fight. A part of me wants to say an upset is not possible, but I don't know. I don't know enough, man. I haven't seen enough, especially after the Veterenikov fight. I haven't seen enough from Danny Barlow to make me feel like I can say an upset is not possible. I'm very stingy. I'm very stingy with the safe prediction of a fight, right? Especially in my lives. So I'm going to say an upset is possible. Obviously, mainly because I haven't seen enough from Danny Barlow. I still think he's going to win, but I think an upset is definitely possible. And I also think an upset is definitely possible in the fight between Haida Emil versus William Gomez. My subscribers and I are going with William Gomez, but I think people might be overlooking Haida Emil. So yeah, I think an upset is possible on this particular fight. I think I just broke down my reasons for saying that. I think it's 50-50, both on the feet and on the ground. I'm basing my prediction and my decision to pick someone on the fact that who has have they fought individually, respectively, and what do you call him? William Gomez's last opponent alone is a quality win. Even if it was a robbery, that was a quality performance. So I think William Gomez is going to get this one done, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses. On to the next one, Nazarad Hakparast versus Esteban Ribovics. My subscribers and I went with Esteban Ribovics. Hakparast is the underdog at plus 215, and Ribovics is the favorite at minus 265. Do I think an upset is possible here? When I picked Esteban Ribovics in on UFC Noche, people were just going crazy on me. They were like, "You're crazy, dude! Like it's not gonna win," and all these type of things. And I was right, but it was a really terrible night for a lot of predictors. So let me not even try to be proud about that. But I did pick Esteban Ribovics. So do I think an upset is possible here? You know what? I've seen enough from Esteban Ribovics to say if there was any fight that I'm going to say I might be a little bit confident, it's this one. So after that war that he went through at UFC Noche, I think I've seen enough from Esteban Ribovics to be able to say I think he gets it done. Um, yeah, I think Esteban Ribovics actually gets it done. This will probably be the only safe fight on the card for me personally. I don't know about anyone else, but I think this is probably going to be my most confident pick on this particular card. If there's any lock, I'm a little bit worried because Nasrat Hakparast is not that bad, but he's pretty decent. So I think on this card I'm going to have one lock, but I'll give you my other confident picks. But I think Esteban Ribovics is going to be my lock. I think he is really talented. I think he's going to be better whether the fight goes on the ground or if it stays on the feet. So, what my the comment section is late. I'm going to respond to everyone. I just want to finish the predictions. So I think Esteban Ribovics is going to be my lock. Um, so yeah, I don't know if there's anything more to say beyond that, except that I think on the feed, Esteban is going to perform exceedingly well on the ground. I think he's going to perform exceedingly well. Yeah, there's nothing much to add to that. My subscribers also went with Esteban Ribovics. On to the next one, Cody Brandage versus Julian Marquez. My subscribers and I went with Julian Marquez. The fight of the bums. Um, so Cody Brandage is the underdog at plus 145, and Julian Marquez is the favorite at minus 170. Do I think an upset is possible here? 100%. It's possible. Um, I don't think Cody Brandage is that good, but I will give him the credit to say that his performance against Bo Nickel showed that he has a yeah, man. It's busy taking over the UFC. So I can't dispute the fact that Cody Brandage has decent wrestling. He has fought and beaten decent fighters, even whether it's a fluke or not. He has a couple of decent wins. He has a couple of decent fights and performances against people like Bo Nickel. I just don't have enough trust in him to actually get it done, and that's one of the reasons why I went with Julian Marquez. Um, Twizy Rich, guys, don't listen to Twizy Rich. I don't know since the last watch along, he's been on a spiral. I don't know what's happening with him. So this fight is not safe, guys. Like, don't listen to Twizy. If you're in the comment section, don't listen to Twizy, guys. So anyway, Cody Brandage. I mean, this fight is going to be a mess. Like, you would have a better shot at predicting this fight by flipping a coin, because I don't feel like both of them are that particularly good. At the same time, I don't think they're that bad. To be honest, obviously they're in the UFC. They're in the UFC, so there must be some level of talent, but they are not that great. Um, But in all honesty, I could see Cody Brandage winning this fight. I just don't trust him to actually get it done, and that's why I picked Julian Marquez. But yeah, an upset is highly, highly possible. Definitely possible on this one. Um, um, uh, Final fight on the card, the main event of the evening, and then I can respond to your comments, my guys. Manel Kape versus Asu Almabayev. My subscribers and I went with Manel Kape. Manel Kape is the favorite at minus 230. Almabayev is the underdog at plus 185. Do I think an upset is possible here? 100% possible. Um, Here's the thing, right? This is one of those fights whereby it was hard for me to actually pick, right? Because I think both fighters are really talented. Almabayev is going to. I don't know, man. This looks like. Who's the guy who was cut by the UFC, by the way? Who was the guy who was cut? Who fought? Who fought? What do you call him? Manel Kape in his last fight. Kinda, what's his name? Can you guys remind me? And he was cut from Mohamed Mokaev. Yes, it was Mohamed Mokaev. So Mohamed Mokaev, I think Asuel Mabayev is a slightly better version of Mohamed Mokaev. Thank you, Twizy. I think Asuel Mabayev can strike. I think he has a little bit more power than Mohamed Mokaev. I think he can grapple as well. So it's going to make this fight a little bit tricky to actually predict. Um, okay, that's a fair point. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like Asu Almabayev is a better version, in my opinion, of Manel. What do you call Mohamed Makayev? However, I still feel like Manel Kape is improving. I feel like I think he broke his toe in that fight against Mohamed Makayev. There were a couple of elements, and I don't think he was himself at that particular point. Maybe he was doubting himself. I don't know, for whatever reason. So because of that, I don't know. This is going to be a close fight, but I honestly think Asu Amabayev can get it done. This is going to be one of the scariest cards because the fights are so flippin' close. But it's a good card. So, do I think an upset is possible here? Yeah, 100%. So, out of all these 12 fights, the only fight that I feel pretty confident about, as far as it being a lock for me, is going to be Esteban Rivovics. But there are other fights that I feel like maybe these ones might go the way I think they might go. Um, um, I don't know. I don't know. I think Luana Carolina might actually get it done. I think she's worth the risk. I think Luana Carolina is worth the risk. I think. I also think Charles Johnson is worth the risk. I think. Plus, he's an underdog. I think Andrea Lee is. I mean, take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt as far as it comes to WMMA, because it's crazy. So Andrea Lee is also worth the risk in my opinion. Plus, she's an underdog. Um, De Silva. But again, is it Denny Silva? Yeah, Denny Silva is also worth the risk. I think he's probably going to get it done. Let me see who else. Who else? Who else? I don't know. Let me skip Danny Bala. No, no. Yeah, I'd say and Esteban Ribovics. Yeah, those are the only people I think maybe might be worth the risk. I think, let me recap. Luana Carolina might be worth the risk. Charles Johnson, potentially Andrea Lee, potentially Danny Silva, potentially who else? And Esteban Ribovics. Yeah, those are the people that I feel like might be worth the risk. Let me respond to you guys so that I can bounce and hear the crazy things, the crazy things that you've been saying. You guys are insane, man. But I love it. It's fine. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. to university. Yeah, this is Amy. Do have backflip. Backflip. I'm, I'm kidding. How am I going to do that, man? Charles McGee, Mario, Mario. Yeah, I agree with you. Zeni Bibi, Ilya versus Islam. Who you got? It's honestly a difficult one, but I'll go Islam, man. He's really very well rounded, technically good in every aspect of his game, so it's gonna be very difficult to actually beat Islam. UFC is starting to invest in heavyweight in 2025 because we make fun of it so much. Zeni Bibi, Islam versus Islam, Ilya versus Islam. Who you got? Islam Mahashev. Twizy Rich, we could all ragdoll Talbot. Wamai Shamil versus Blobiev for Blobiev. Wamai Shamil versus Polar Bear. Zeni B. I mean Zeni B, I was busy doing predictions, my guy, but I am responding now. Hopefully you're still in the stream. Unless maybe you left. Um Ilya KO's Islam. No man. Wamai, stop that. Lane just tackles people for or throw big slow shots. Yeah, I agree. Zeni B, inshallah and new. I agree. Wamai Peterson gonna sub him round two. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be difficult to get Danny Barlow down. Twizy Rich, dude, I want to take a shot on Peterson, but watching Lanus versus Patterson, that was still getting lit up. Yeah, and I think Danny Barlow has what it takes to knock him out. I have Sam by sub. Okay, it's gonna be difficult to get him down. Do y'all think we'll see um, kind of Aspinall? What do you mean, Tweezy Rich? I took Vanderford, but the Sam's defense is very worrying. You took Vanderford. Shawshot McGee, Danny Super overrated. Yeah, I think so, but we'll see. Shawshot McGee, left hand from down the road. Left hand from down the road. That's insane. Well, my logic that Patterson will win is because I'm from UK and he's also from UK, so that means Patterson will win. I mean, I don't blame you for having that logic, man. I mean, nice logic, Avaraji. Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him for having that logic. Philly to the Gilly, welcome to the stream, my guy. I'm so effing late. Yeah, it's late, man. I'm done. I'm done with the stream, but we can always do the watch along together tomorrow. It's fine. Um, you're gonna be live during the fight card tomorrow. 100%, my guy. I'm gonna be live. Wamai, don't bet on my advice. Oh wow! Don't, guys. Some of the things that my subscribers say in the comment section is misleading. You came here to listen to me. Sometimes they are right. If you want to see the subscribers' picks, guys, go to the videos in the shorts section or the video section. The crazy people in the comments will just mislead you. Like, they say crazy things in there. So, like, you think they are serious and they are not even that serious. So, just don't listen too much to them. Shawshot McGee, Danny left hand from Ace. I thought Patterson has a very long reach. Let me see. Now Danny Barlow has the longer reach. Philly to the Gilly. Danny left hand from. Wow, wow. Shout out McGee. Danny left hand from the corner store. 2-4. Nah, guys, don't do that, man. Guys, from the guys, nah, don't do that, man. Like, that's not that's not okay, guys. From the corner store is not nice. Shout out McGee. Bring the recipe back. Get a free Arizona tea. I hope Gomez gets knocked out. Come on, man. I picked him. Why do you want him to lose? Short McGee. Just too slick though. Yeah, I agree. Twizy Rich Gomez gonna look like Zalal. You think? I guess maybe it's possible. Shot McGee. Zalal looks like Gomez. Shot McGee. Gomez OG track star. All round stuff to finish. Yeah. Wamai Movzad Decisiolev. Wow. 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 Movzad the most. Twizy Rich. Amil has a puncher's chance. Emil won his last fight from terrible IQ from his opponent. Yeah, that's a fair point. Thank you for that. It makes me feel a little bit more confident in my pick. Well, my Joe Rogan will call Mofza a marauding savage for him to win his 10th straight decision. Wow. Well, I picked Zelhuba because he's not Argentine. Argentine invaded my country. I'm not laughing, but I mean your logic is crazy. Like Argentina's slowly taking over the UFC too. Twizy the safest fight on the card. Twizy is crazy, guys. Like Brandage versus what do you call him? Who's the guys fighting? Marquez is not safe at all. Well, my they took over the UFC but failed to take over Britain's island. Okay, Shoshat McGee. Gillian been KO'd 3 times in a row, and on the last fight of his contract. Yeah, I mean he has to win this one, otherwise he's probably out of the UFC. Twizzerich at KO Brandon. Stop that, man. This is an El Sekio kind of fighter. Oh, fight. Shoshat McGee. Britain had two before the war. What? Well, my Tweezy minus 500 to KO Brandon. Raj, Cody Brandage in co-main event is crazy. I didn't even comment on that, man. I can't believe Brandage. I think maybe they assume that he's somewhat of a star because he fought Bo Nickel. I think I don't know because this last fight was Bo Nickel, so they felt like maybe he's more recognizable now to a lot of fans, I guess, especially because of his performance. He was able to defend some takedowns, survive up until the second round, and everything like that. Bo Nickel looked tired in that fight, so he made Bo Nickel look human to some extent, even though he was. Most of us knew he was human. But nonetheless, I think maybe the UFC, because of that, they felt like, oh, maybe people might recognize him. Let's put him in the co-main event. But against this guy, come on, or maybe the UFC thinks it's a layup. Who knows? Twitter Rich Mokayev, yes, thank you for that. My Britain must have been like a Peyton Talbot level favorite versus Argentina. I guys, why are you saying these things like you'll get us in trouble? I know it's your country, but I mean, Shoshat Makayev tried to take his pants off. Shoshat McGee. Yeah, Britain, good stand up, background. Alright, you guys, well, the emotional lost that fight. I, you guys, Shoshat McGee, I know you are getting out of hand, man. Well, nobody check Argentina Air Force. Brother. Raj, can I get a recap of your upset predictions? I think every prediction is an upset for me, except Esteban Ribovic's. I also gave you a couple of fights that I feel are worth the risk, which are quickly Montana de no Luana Carolina. WMMA, take it with a pinch of salt. Luana Carolina, um, Charles Johnson, Andrea Lee, Danny Silva, and Esteban Ribovics. That's the recap. Um, I thought Mukaev Cup was so bad. I'd have scored in 37, 37. Wow. So that Maggie, Air Force can only land on one island now, bro. Raj, I don't think Johnson is an underdog anymore. Oh, okay. I was even surprised he was an underdog. Raj, Pinto is coing lane early in the KOing lane in the earlier, in my opinion. Yeah, I could see that. Shoshot McGee agreed. Lane sucks. No, the problem with William Gomez didn't win against Brito. He was fighting in France, and Gomez is a Frenchman. The French did him a favor. No, I know. I agree with that. Raj, Ribovix, Barlow, Pinto, and Mariscal are my confident picks. Okay, that's fair. Let me cook. You guys sleeping on Nazrad? We're not sleeping on Nazrad, my guy. I mean, he might come through, but I don't know, man. I feel significantly confident in Ribovix. Well, my Urban Alien Champ 2026 as well, zero bias, of course. I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that you are from the UK. Like, we need to overlook that. It's not that, you know? It's like me saying Dricus Duplessis is going to be a three division champion. No bias. Like, he's from South Africa, but I mean, that's not why I'm saying it, you know? Anyway, we'll see. Um, Raj, Nazara lost to Gordon last time. We are not sleeping. The judges were sleeping in the last. You guys are brutal with your responses. Let me cook. That was close, and Gordon is not a can. I mean, let me cook. That's a fair point. Um, um, Kennel. Gordon is a can. His mid-level can. Yeah. You know what? Let me cook. To be honest, I'm going to agree with Kennel. I don't know. Has Gordon ever been ranked in his entire career? I don't think Gordon has ever been ranked. So as a result, even if he has been, he's probably never touched the top 10. So because of that, I'd say mid-level can. I don't know. It's harsh, but I mean I think it's true. Cheesy Rich Gordon isn't a can. LOL, he should be on a win streak. I mean, we'll see though. Cheesy Rich, he keeps getting screwed. Let me cook. Gordon is a can. Bro, what are you talking about? Okay. I don't think that's me. Cheesy Rich Gordon is arguably a better win than Zalhuba, but Esteban has the power by a mile in my opinion. I agree. Let me cook. You guys forgetting Nasrat never get KO'd in the UFC too. Okay, that's a fair point, Raj, but he did not win against Gordon, and Ribovix 100% won against Zalhuba. Yep. Let me cook. We will see. My bet on over 2 rounds, but I think Nazrat can win. Okay. Guys, we'll see each other. Once again, I'm going to do a watch along from the prelims up until the main card. So join me. Chizzy Rich, I'm turned off hearing about how good the bow is. Yeah, me too, man. I feel like it's very overrated. Yeah, overs hitting for sure. I can agree on that. Okay. Tuesday Richard, Jamie Pickett did the same thing. He just sucks. Yeah, I forgot about Jamie Pickett, man. I remember saying that Jamie Pickett did significantly well, and if he had lost it up until maybe the second round, Bo Nigel might not be undefeated right now. Tuesday Rich, I'm tired. Yeah, I saw that. Tuesday Rich, WMMA is always a log, guys. No, don't listen to Tweezy, guys. Like, you lose money. Don't listen to Tweezy, guys. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Polo, bro, how about putting Douglas Silva on a parlay? He's a risky pick for me personally, but I don't know, man. He's an underdog pick. You can try it. I mean, I think he probably gets it done, but I'm not very confident. My subscribers also think he gets it done, but we might be wrong. it depends on how you feel about Andrade. To be honest, Wamai, I wouldn't he look poor versus Miles Jones. Mighty Mo. Shout out McGee. Elliot is Welsh, not British. Yeah, Elliot is Welsh, not British. Oh yeah, I did his kind dirty. Oh my, he's both. I was born in Wales and grew up in South America. Oh, okay. Oban Elliott got a carry Welsh MMA though. We'll see. I don't know how good Oban Elliott is. I still need to see a little bit more from him. Let me cook Manel Kape via defending his parents. Wow. Jojo McGee, poor guy, had to leave. Y'all do the Welsh date. Well, my Gordon Grizzle, the crafty gatekeeping van. Tuesday Rich, I got Ribovics. Yeah, I'm with you. Um, Raj, early prediction for Bilal versus JDM. That's a really difficult fight to predict, man. If Bilal was a little bit younger, I'd go with Bilal, but Bilal is above that age where champions lose their belts. So I'm going to need to do um, a proper prediction. But based on the fact that JDM has been taken down by even Gilbert Burns, I don't rate Gilbert Burns' takedown accuracy or abilities. The fact that Gilbert Burns was able to take him down is not a good sign. I think Bilal is going to have the same level of success. I think Bilal striking is improving. So I could see a situation where Bilal wins that fight. Choose a Rich, I had the best gambling advice. Don't listen to no, like, don't listen to Tracy Higgins. Like I'm saying this guy is unhinged lately. I got Bilal. He has hands like a Canelo. JDM will be no match for him. I hope you're joking. Tracy Rich, Max bad Paul Craig in his last fight. Um, let me see. Max beat Paul Craig in his next fight, no matter what. Okay. Who's Max? Who? Choosy Ridge. Oban still made to me. Hafez is just the biggest bum on the roster. Okay, that's fair. On my facts, short. The security will know his name after the after the fight. Um, guys, I have to bounce. I've stayed with you on the stream for 1 hour 27 minutes. It's time for me to leave. See you guys tomorrow. For the watch along. I start early. I'm going to try to wake up a little bit early, so that I can start early. So see you guys tomorrow. Well, whatever the time zone is, it doesn't matter. Whenever the fight start, you'll find me online. Early prelims. So until then, I love and appreciate all of you. Deuces.